Hi, you guys. It's Shauna from SBell Wellness. I just wanted to come in and share with you guys on the topic of using essential oils when you go on trips, on vacations, just even in summertime routine. So I wanted to just share some things that I have found to be helpful, and then see if you guys have anything that you need support with that I can help you with. So let's talk first a little bit about some things of why we would want to even be using our oils on vacation to begin with, right? Super easy and convenient to make sure that we are still taking care of ourselves and tuning into those self-care routines while we are away doing those fun things, especially in the summertime. Continuing to support our immune system. So oftentimes I think we're thinking about this during sick season, more so in the winter when we are getting sick more often or maybe getting sick more often. But making sure that we keep these routines for our immune system is really important, especially when we're going to be in places where it's just unfamiliar to our system. We're around different people, maybe people that we don't know what things are going on for their immune system. And so it's important for us to make sure that we are maintaining ours. And then also, of course, when we are off of routine or we're enjoying summer, we're going to be eating out more. We're going to be doing things off of routine with some of our eating habits. And so being able to use some of these oils to support our digestive system during that time is super helpful. And then, of course, our respiratory system, right? So especially if we're flying or we're in a car for a longer time, you're kind of traveling in those enclosed spaces. So really supporting our respiratory system is an important part of using our natural solutions during that time. And then, of course, just continuing to feel calm and relaxed so that we can enjoy the trip, maybe kind of supporting some anxious feelings that might be around that for ourselves or for kids or other people traveling with us. So those are reasons why we want to keep our routines going. Here's some top 10 kind of travel oils. And I wanted to talk a little bit about a fun way that I think that these are really helpful to do with traveling. So I hope you can kind of see this. So this is a little roller bottle case, actually. It is on a keychain, and actually it fits these 5 milliliter bottles. And so I absolutely love doTERRA oil bottles because I think they are the best as far as like longer lasting and that sort of thing. But these smaller sizes I get on Amazon. And so I actually have the box here so I can show you guys. This, I don't know if you can see it, it's reflecting bad. It's Lilia bottles, and there's 12 bottles in a box, and they're 5 milliliters. But they're skinnier, and so that's why I wanted you to know about the brand, and I can send that to anybody if you're not able to see it here as I'm showing it to you. But they fit perfectly in this little case, and so when you're talking about these top 10, and so there's actually 10 slots here, so being able to travel with those, it makes it super easy to have them right there with you if you didn't want to bring like your bigger roller bottles. So On Guard, that's our protective blend. That's going to be the one that's really going to help keep your immune system going. Digest Zen is recommended. That's the one that's really going to help support that digestive system. TerraShield. So TerraShield is our outdoor blend. That is the one that you're going to want to snag to make sure you are able to repel those mosquitoes, those pesky bugs this time of year. You can also make a spray with the TerraShield. So that's what I have here. This is my my Buzz Off Bug Repellent. This year I've added pink pepper to it just because I did some reading about some research that was done to show that pink pepper actually can help kind of ward off the diseases that bugs carry. So I have TerraShield and pink pepper in here, and then I've filled that up with witch hazel, actually, which helps to disperse the oils when you're using that. And I can send you specific recipes for these as well. But that TerraShield is definitely one that you want to snag. TerraShield actually has fractionated coconut oil right in the bottle. It's one of the few oils that do. So if you wanted to, you could just take the oil straight from the bottle and rub that on. I just like the convenience of the spray. Breathe is here. So again, I talked about respiratory. So Breathe is our respiratory blend. Deep Blue is really good, especially if you're doing a lot of walking and you're traveling in your summer adventures. Having that Deep Blue to soothe is super helpful. Purify. So Purify is actually our cleansing blend. I really love this one to help purify the air. So I do recommend bringing like a little travel diffuser if you have it, or even just like one of your smaller ones. Being able to run some Purify in a hotel room or a home that you might be renting out is kind of helpful to make sure that you are breathing clean air while you're there. Elevation, I have that one on here just because that's our joyful blend. I absolutely love this, just even as a personal fragrance. But it's very uplifting. It can be really helpful to get everyone in a good mood. Past tense. So past tense is a roller bottle blend. And that one you could really use for tension. So if you've got some head tension going on, if maybe you're out in the heat all day and kind of feeling that way, it's got some nice mint oils in there that can help cool down. So that's a really good one in the touch roller that you can just kind of roll on back of the neck when you're hot, is really good. So that's past tense. And then balance, of course, I don't think I ever leave balance off of anything I talk about just because it is such a grounding blend. It really can help support sleep if it's a little bit harder for you to sleep when you're traveling away from home. So balance is a good one to have around. And then serenity is the restful blend. So that's a great one also to help kind of calm those anxious feelings. So those are the ones that I would kind of recommend if you're thinking about making a little kit up. You can, use your oils and make those. And I have a guide too in this about as far as like how many drops you would be putting in there. I can send that to you. Another way that you can take those oils if you don't have that, these little doTERRA keychains are actually available on the doTERRA site, and these actually have smaller little bottles in there. So these are like sample bottles that you could actually put just some of the oil in. So if you're going to be using it to diffuse, then this is what you would kind of take with you to do that. So I've been taking this one with me. I got this other one that I just talked about from Oil Life, and that's kind of the new thing that I'm going to try this year with traveling, is to make those smaller ones. Because I do have this, if you guys can see this is one that fits my roller bottles. I do tend to carry this one in my purse. It gets a little bit heavy. And so I think kind of switching to that smaller one for travel will be really good. So, but just in case you want to just grab your touch rollers and go, this is an option too. And I actually just got this little one on Amazon, of course. I talked about the touch series. So those are the ones I was just showing you. Those are the ones that are already pre-diluted, already ready for you. The top 10 come in those touch rollers. And so that's really a nice convenient way for you to just be able to take them and go. So that's worth mentioning too. Let's see, some DIY just combination blends that you might want to think up. So if you deal with motion sickness, combining peppermint and Digest-Zen and ginger together are really great for motion sickness. I wanted to mention the newer ginger drops are phenomenal for motion sickness. So if that's something you or people you're traveling with deal with, maybe you want to snag some of those. I talked about immunity, but this is a blend that you could put together if you know that you really do have an immune system that might be compromised or be around other people who are. This is a really great blend for that. I try to remember it as Flume. It's actually out of order on here, but that's the frankincense, the lemon, On Guard, oregano, and melaleuca. So if you remember Flume, that can kind of help you remember those oils that you would need for that big immunity boost. If you travel on airplanes and deal with, or the kids deal with, that pressure really bugging you, this blend is awesome for that. I have used it personally for that. and have some other people who have tried it and I've really found that to be helpful. So that's lavender, melaleuca, and basil together for that ear support. And then the next one is sunburn. So you want to have that after sun spray. And so that's, I tend to use like this size bottle for that for traveling, and put lavender, peppermint, and frankincense in there. And that is, and then you just fill up the rest of the way with distilled water, and then you are able to go. You can put a little bit of fractionated coconut in there just for helping to those oils to absorb into the skin, and it's very moisturizing for the skin after sun too. So that's a great one to use. Of course, you know, depending on what you are doing with your travels, if you're, you know, out, you know, hiking or doing any of those things, you want to be prepared for like cuts and scrapes and bruises and all that. So those great lavender, frankincense, and melaleuca are just so great for skin in so many ways. So even your sunburn blend that you're using can kind of be a multitasker for some of these things. And then just a combination for sleep is Serenity, Balance, and Wild Orange are really great for sleep as well, if you're kind of looking for just combining some things and playing around with that a little bit. This guide actually does have in here, like I said, how to make up those roller bottles. So I can send this off to you and you can see exactly how to make those, the recipes. Just a couple other ideas for sprays. I already talked about the after sun spray, hand cleansing spray. I actually didn't bring mine up here. It's in my purse because I carry that everywhere I go. I like spray down my grocery cart and everything. But you can get the recipe. All of these recipes are right on the doTERRA website. So even if you just kind of search in hand cleansing spray, air fresheners for your traveling spaces, even just like an all-purpose spray if you're staying in a home that, you know, you've rented and you're doing a little bit of cleaning while you're there, tidying up. That's good to take along to make sure that you can keep those surfaces clean. There's heat protective spray. There's even a makeup setting spray. So there's some fun recipes. If you just kind of search those in the doTERRA website, you'll find lots of DIY sprays. And I just get those little bottles actually. They have some that are a little bit smaller than this actually in the doTERRA website. And of course, I get these on Amazon. You can get them on Oil Life. You can get them on Share Oils, just wherever you are shopping for the majority of your things, you'll find them. Just a couple of other additional things worth mentioning. I don't know if you guys have tried the beadlets. Some of the kits that some of you might have started with come with the beadlets, but I didn't bring them up here. They're little, like a fourth of a capsule that have just a little bit of the peppermint oil in there or the On Guard oil in there. And those are really great for just even like using as a mint. The On Guard ones are great for like just that scratchy throat kind of thing that goes on in those closed spaces of traveling. So those are good. I already talked about the Breathe drops and the new ginger drops. The On Guard actually comes in those drops too. Correctex is great to have. That's the first aid ointment. You guys have heard me talk about that before probably. It has lavender, frankincense, melaleuca, helichrysum in there. So just an ointment that you would use like you would have used like a Neosporin before. It's just a really safe swap for that. The Deep Blue Rub, I talked about Deep Blue oil earlier. Deep Blue Rub is awesome. Make sure you have around. This last year we did some traveling down to Savannah. We did tons and tons of walking while we were there, and just being able to rub on Deep Blue on our feet at the end of the day was just so soothing and getting us ready for that next day, not feeling it like it was too much. So that's the full size tube. You can actually get the little sample packets, which are cool for travel. So the little box comes with like 10 of those, and those are great to just like pop in your purse or your travel bag and be able to, you know, save some space. Other samples that are good to have, the toothpaste actually comes in sample packets too. So if you're trying to save on some space and don't want to take your big tube, those are great to travel. And then the shampoo and conditioner actually comes in sample sizes too. So if you're not traveling for too long and you just want a couple of those with you, that's a great idea to take some of that with you. And then your supplements. So if you're taking supplements and those are really helping you, want to make sure that you're staying on routine while you travel. And so you want to make sure you're taking those. The Terrazymes are the digestive enzymes. I definitely recommend those while traveling. Just eating differently, it really helps to break down the foods and making sure that you aren't dealing with discomfort from that. And then getting, of course, the nutrients that we need. PB Assist is the probiotic, making sure that you're continuing to keep the gut healthy. And then the LLV is the lifelong vitality. So those are our multivitamins, our omegas, and those vitality ones. So this is my little packet that I take. I was fortunate enough to actually snag this one from an auction from someone in doTERRA, but you can get these online. And so they're just like little pill boxes, and you can pop them all in there. You could put a sticker on there of what they are if you want to. These have the days of the week on there. There's a little slot for extra ones. So that's a really great way to make sure that you have them with you and you don't have to carry, like all your supplement bottles and fill up your suitcase with all of that. So it's good to make sure that we can kind of figure out how to take those things with. Just a couple other travel-friendly take-alongs. Like I mentioned before, I like to take a diffuser with, especially when we're staying in hotels. And so I'll just take like one of our smaller ones with. They do make travel size ones, but we have some smaller ones and those just fit right in. They make little cases for them if that's something you feel like you need. If you're traveling in the car, having a car diffuser, if anybody was able to snag that from the promotion with the Island Mint, there's that little car diffuser that came with it. If you didn't, honestly, you can take just a wood clothespin and clothespin that right on your vent and drop some oils on there. An easy way to do that. Clear roller bottle clutches. That's just an idea, like a little clear pouch. I actually don't have one of those in here with me that you can put your rollers in if you're having to travel and need that clear container. There's other roller bottle cases that I shared here. The keychain sample I think is super helpful to be able to have that on the go. Just remember that if you are traveling, obviously on flights and you're taking these in your carry-on, you want to make sure that don't forget to travel, following those guidelines. I think sometimes we just like have all this stuff thrown in our purse, and I don't want you to have to give that up. So these do meet the requirements. They just might ask you to have them in those clear bags. So just be mindful of that, the quart size. And so that's why I said like using that clear cut clutch is kind of a way to get around that a little bit. But just make sure that you're kind of being mindful of that so that you don't have to give up your oils. No one wants to do that. All right, so that is kind of a lot of information, but I hope that was helpful. I don't know that I went through everything that I would take on a trip, but I think I wanted to kind of go over some of the top things, some of the neat little ways that you can take it with you and make sure it's convenient so that you can stay in routine. If you need to order before you go and you haven't started with me, you can jump on my website. If you just jump on sbellwellness.com, actually you'll get directed to where you need to go. You can contact me. All my contact information is over there so that I can send you, this presentation if you want the links for some of these things, the recipes here, or if you have any questions about specific things that you and your family deal with during travel, I can certainly help you with that. So just reach out or jump on over to the SBellWellness.com and you can get my contact and reach out there. All right. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you for our next class.